All right. Well,
I don't know if we know what got the Oscar in 2010. The King's Speech. Fuck you. Best Director, King's Speech. No, we're not even gonna talk about the Oscars. Fuck that.
it was the King's Speech.
King's Speech. Fuck.
Letdown of the era.
Yeah.
The end of an era. That was interesting. I hope it picks that up. That sounds like marching.
What a great film. And it's great to see Quentin acting.
Half of it is good.
I would have liked to see...
But which half?
Yeah, which half? What's your bag?
The first half. Who did that?
Quentin.
Fuck, I didn't want to just give it to him.
Alright, well this is exciting. It's the first episode of Drunken Masterminds.
Yeah, welcome back, Reloaded Ears.
We seem to get a little ballsy on this one. We're not even drinking beer out of coffee cups.
No, but it was very integral to the storytelling of the drinking game.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw, you saw, we saw The Devil.
And
2010 classic.
And the waves shan't soon be forgotten.
You say that you were pretty busy during 2010, probably didn't see much. But I think that I'm going to call your bluff on that because there was quite the number of doozies that came out in 2010.
Out there double jobbing, cause of great concern when it comes to this particular list.
All right, where should we start? So Leonardo DiCaprio had a big year, putting out Shutter Island and Inception.
Well, I did see both of those. But
all right, check it. Take 2 drinks. If I name one that you haven't seen, I'd take a drink. Black Swan.
Didn't really watch it. It did have a lot
I've
of...
never seen it either.
Mm-hmm. It's what's his name? The guy who made all the movies, everybody. He made your movie, Requiem for a Dream. He made Mother.
Oh, I hated Mother.
Careful, she might be listening.
I'll edit this out. Oh, yeah, Aronofsky.
You know. He made The Wrestler.
Oh, and he's got Whale coming out.
Well, it's kind of been out, right? It's gotten standing ovations.
Okay, we'll edit all this out.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about Brendan Fraser. California Man.
Feel bad for that guy.
Did you see Encino Man was on Disney?
Oh, yeah. He's making a comeback.
But the cover says California Man.
Oh, really? They changed the name?
Well, it was probably called that other places because Encino means nothing.
Yeah, you're going to get canceled if you keep it up with the Encino. Due Date. A couple comedies. Did you ever see Due Date? Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, and Zach Galifianakis? Yes, I did watch Due Date.
That's a good one. I found that one really funny. That we were talking about like movies that actually make you laugh out loud.
Yeah.
And Due Date was a comedy that I could actually watch over and over again and still laugh.
The Modern Planes, Trains, and Automobiles,
Yeah,
was
exactly.
it that one?
Yeah. And both of them were just...
there was miniatures in that one as well.
Miniatures.
Miniatures, houses, kind of like Hereditary. Those kind of miniature, like nicely done ones.
No.
Maybe it's in the intro.
I don't think so.
The outro.
I don't think so.
The middle.
No, I don't think so. Grown Ups. Adam Sandler and the gang.
Yeah, I did watch that, but later.
Okay.
All right.
Another comedy. Get Him to the Greek.
Yeah, I know what a Jeffrey is.
Hot Tub Time Machine.
I did watch that.
Uh,
Strong year for comedies. You always have time for a 90-minute movie. There's a huge flaw in my plan.
Well, I'm going to switch it up here. The Crazies.
Oh, yeah, I saw that in the theater. When did I have a free weekend in 2010? And that was an off movie, too. It was like practically a B movie.
Yeah. This might be a little bit of foreshadowing, but Batman Under the Red Hood.
No.
No?
I want to watch it now.
True Grit. Maybe you'll watch it before next week, eh?
I watched half of True Grit.
Half a sip. This was an interesting one because I'm such a David Fincher fan. And this was really left field for him, I found. But he did a great job of it. Social Network.
That was 2010?
Yeah.
Fuck me.
A film that I enjoyed a lot more than I thought I was going to. A really good film. The Town.
Did watch that later.
This is a sci-fi movie, it says. Book of Eli. Denzel.
Yeah.
Spoiler, he's blind.
You know what? I'm pretty sure I did watch Book of Eli.
Yeah. That's Gary Oldman.
I went back and cleaned up on 2010.
I knew you would have.
Bullshit is moi.
What about Red?
Fuck. Red was awesome.
Yeah.
There was that part, John Malkovich. Is it him that spins out in the car and just steps right out?
Yeah.
And maybe the best scene of all 2010?
John Malkovich is so badass. He always has been. Con Air. Even the role that he plays in Burn After Reading.
Oh, love Burn After Reading.
Where he's like really paranoid.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of paranoia. But like will fuck you up. Like, and even being John Malkovich, how like vulnerable he is at some stages of that movie. Like I wouldn't fuck with John Malkovich, even when he was Biff. Seinfeld reference. When they're always calling. There's a season where Jerry Seinfeld's always calling George Biff.
That's right.
And it's from Death of a Salesman. And John Malkovich got his start playing Biff on Death of a Salesman, a TV movie.
Oh.
And he had hair. Looked really weird. Yeah, preceding Cyrus the Virus by a couple of years.
Yeah, Cyrus the Virus was, he was always a monster.
Yeah. Losers, which is also a little foreshadowing for next week, maybe. It's based off a comic. It was like a one-off Avengers, kind of like what you'd expect the X Squad to be like or whatever. Like a bunch of kind of...
Sounds like a load of bullshit to me.
B-rated guys, but...
I might have seen this.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan is in it.
He's in The Watchmen as well?
Yeah. Zoe Saldana. Chris Evans. Oh, Zoe Saldana, who plays Gamora, does she not?
Mm-hmm.
Chris Evans.
Yeah, you know damn well he plays...
Flame Boy.
Thor.
Idris Elba, who's that guy in the Thor movies, the gatekeeper kind of thing. And Columbus Short, who I don't know who that is. 3 more. 127 Hours.
Never watched it. I don't have any idea how he got out.
The Fighter.
Did watch The Fighter.
What about Machete?
Did I ever watch Machete just for fun?
Robert Rodriguez. Shout out to Robert Rodriguez.
I thought I was going to because I did check out Trejo's book, but I don't think I got around to it. Might have bookmarked it somewhere.
Yeah, because we talked about Con Air in, is it this episode? Because we were talking about Danny Trejo in Johnny 23. Actually, on the weekend, because my mom has the Fire Stick, which has like 24/7 channels.
Yeah.
So it had 24/7 Tarantino. And we turned it on, and it was the ending of Four Rooms, which is his widely lesser known film.
Because that was a segmented thing.
Yeah, Robert Rodriguez did a scene for it. So this was probably working up to this that we watched after Four Rooms was From Dusk Till Dawn. But Danny Trejo's in that, and Todd Savini. You don't see him act very much.
Yeah, that's right. He usually does everything behind the scenes that makes it cool.
And he's got the dick pistol. It's got the the two chambers, the two cylinders, I mean.
Yeah.
For the balls. And then he gets bitten by a vampire but doesn't tell anyone, and he's slowly changing and doesn't want anyone to know.
It's hard to hold it back.
So I was like, what a one-off. And I was even telling someone that I was watching it with, he doesn't usually act. He's just doing this for Robert Rodriguez and Quentin probably.
Yeah.
And then Planet Terror comes on next. And he's in that as one of the guards. So that was pretty funny.
He's picking up scale every other 8 years.
Yeah. And Cheech plays 3 different characters in it. Awesome.
As he should.
Yeah. And even Juliette Lewis. Yeah. We've had her.
Who's she?
We've had her on this show quite a few times.
But enough about Juliette Lewis.
Yeah, exactly. We'll get to her on the next one. Okay, another movie that you might have seen that came out in 2010. Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Yeah, I fucking saw it.
You like that one? Mm-hmm. So, give us your introduction to Scotty P.
So this movie is crazy. Made by the guy who made Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz. And takes place in Canada. But that's besides the point, because this thing combines video games and movies. Everything feels like a boss fight, every character. And come to find out later that one of our film teachers, Walter, he actually made the video for Plumtree, who made the song Scott Pilgrim, which inspired the movie or the comic book.
Yeah.
And, it's pretty impressive that it's actually, as far as movies go, a spectacular movie.
Yeah.
Coins going everywhere. It's gives you the same feels as a Ready Player One.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know if Detention came out in 2010 as well, but I found, from what I saw of Scott Pilgrim, it reminded me a lot of Detention.
You didn't really like Detention, right? They did a lot of those things that you like in a documentary, but not in your feature-length film. Text bars and shit like that.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, they only did that at the start. Yeah. But it was kind of like every scene was a different genre or something. It always kept you guessing.
The energy, the transitions, just like Snatch, something like that. Yeah. Super kinetic. Yeah. It's phenomenal. Those
spun almost.
Mm-hmm. When things wind together so interesting like that. Detention did that super well. I don't know how anybody could dislike it. Maybe because the story was written a little bit like Scream or something. Yeah. Yeah, just as a movie on its own, I thought it was great.
Did you ever see The Experiment, 2010?
The Experiment.
It's based off of true events where they take 50 people and put them in a jail, and 25 are guards and 25 are prisoners.
Based on Stanford Experiment?
Yeah. Forrest Whitaker, which is still lives with his mom, very, probably gaslit by his mom, very defeated, timid, scared, nervous, and he gets put as the guard, the main guard, and Adrian Brody is put as the prisoner, and he's the protagonist, and Lawrence Fishburne. Shit. And he's the prisoner, and so Adrian Brody, he's the protagonist. Fuck.
Forrest Whitaker's the antagonist by default. He just
Forrest Whitaker.
He just chose his name out of a hat, no?
But because he's never felt power before like this, and he goes out and he's acting as the guard, and he calms down. He sends all the prisoners to their cells, and acts like a tough guy for the first time in his life, and he actually gets a hard-on from it. So he just starts going crazy, right? And the only guy that can stick up to him.
This movie based around this guy getting a hard on a little bit?
Yeah.
Nice.
That's first act stuff.
Well, Gravity's Rainbow, one of the most important books of all time.
Yeah.
All based on a guy who gets an erection as missiles from Germany are about to approach. But go on, sorry.
Yeah, but it's a good flick. It also has a couple familiar faces that I can't think of his name, but he's some of those actors you just see in the background of everything. Like I think he was even in Sons of Anarchy a little bit or something like that, but he always just pops up in random movies.
Yeah.
He was like a SS kind of guy, a neo-Nazi, but then Adrian Brody kind of made him a nicer guy, made him a nicer fella.
Oh, well.
Brought him under his wing a little bit. But
boring.
Yeah. No, it's a good one.
No one go to Stanford.
I think by now we feel like we're in the 2010 groove.
So that's it. Those are all the hits, eh?
Those are all the hits. So one more Seinfeld reference, maybe. There is an episode called The Devil. You see the devil? I saw the devil. Yeah.
Or paints his face like the devil?
Yeah, and he scares the priest.
Yeah.
And then at the end, I won't paint my face anymore. And then they show up and he's got his stomach painted.
Yeah.
And then at the end, it's Jerry and Kramer are there. And they got their stomachs painted too. But not looking impressed.
Yeah.
Not as impressed as I was looking at this movie.
Yeah.
I saw The Devil.
You're going to hell.
Check it out.
Just this movie in general. I'm not saying we're going to say anything about the other movies that we've watched that are upcoming or whatever.
Yeah.
But speaking to the movies that we've seen, although we love so many of them, this is rounding out the top of the list of movies that we've seen so far.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because it actually is. Me and Adam did work out a top 10 list of the 10 films that we watched in season 1, and I saw The Devil's at the top of both of ours.
Oh, the people who made this fucking nailed it.
Yeah, fucking nailed it.
Yeah, make sure you watch it. Probably before you listen to this.
Yeah.
Do yourself a favor.
Watch it now. Now. Oh, we got a backslate anyways.
Oh, you were making all kinds of noise.
What? Saying... There's a little camera with a knob. But it's saying recording. See that though? Another great pick, Adam, must say.
Oh, yeah, I've been waiting to get around to this one for a while.
Yeah. Really grabs you by the balls, I must say. Where did you first hear about I Saw the Devil?
I don't know. When did it come out? 2010?
2010.
Yeah. So probably not till a couple years ago. There is a video on YouTube, I think. The best hidden gems on something.
Yeah.
whatever it was, the video was outdated, so it wasn't on there. Is able to log into Shudder. I think it's on Tubi as well, the free one. Yeah, it's been a couple of years, I guess.
Yeah, I found that it was Tarantino-esque in a sense, just because it seems like, this director loves film. There were so many homages to countless films. I tried to count them. Or I tried to get notes of every single one that I noticed.
Yeah, that's great.
But like how Tarantino just openly says, like, yeah, I steal stuff from other movies.
Wear it on my sleeve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that they would say the same. Admittingly so, or it wouldn't be so obvious.
Yeah.
There was some just like... Okay, so the first one that I'll say is the ear with the ants on it.
Yeah.
Which, was inspired originally by a Salvador Dali film.
Oh, yeah.
Where there's a hole in someone's hand and all the ants are crawling out of it. Old black and white. And then Blue Velvet found the ear covered in ants.
Yeah.
But these guys didn't even try changing it. It could have been any body part and had ants and it would have that same effect. But they just went for the ear.
Yeah.
So that is like, I love Blue Velvet.
Yeah.
Through our conversation is like all the different homages that I found out of it.
Although definitely far from an homage. Let's just talk about the opening shot of this movie for a minute.
Yeah.
Starts out POV shot driving through the snow in his school whatever van. It makes you seem like you're trustworthy anyway. Yeah. So you can offer drives pretty freely in it, I think is his main motivation. So yeah, it starts out and it's driving in the snow, going and going and going, and there's that song playing, like who knows, but it's like soft or something like that. The inciting part or whatever goes up to a girl. She's got a flat tire. Yeah. So House That Jack Built paid homage to this movie, which is a movie we'll probably talk about in the future, but
for sure.
Definitely divisive.
Yeah. Yeah, and he was dressed just like the guy from I Know What You Did Last Summer. The fisherman.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of pictured
in the rain.
The same jacket.
Yeah, no hook, but exactly.
The same prop and wardrobe closet. He got that ear full of ants. Probably found that rain jacket. Someone used this too.
Yeah, that is one of the first references in the whole thing. She's on the phone with her boyfriend as this is going on. Yeah. They try and do everything right. The tow truck's coming. This is no problem. Yeah. Just send them away. Yeah. Tell them you got someone coming. No big deal. They'll be here in a minute. He's like, comes and she does it. The exact right thing. And then she's just looking at that car. She's like, he's not leaving. The supernatural kind of part of the way the devil works, I guess, is kind of in this guy's, what becomes an intrinsic way of kind of getting into a place where you don't think you can physically do it, or you should see it in the frame or something. Yeah. They really build it up like the guy who you end up following. He tried so hard, he's so diligent, he's got the thing... status, securities officer. It's hard to tell his profession. I don't think it's cop.
No, he's some kind of special agent or something like that.
Yeah.
Like it's maybe this is another homage. Is like he's almost like Liam Neeson in Taken. He's like, you don't know who you fucked with because I have all the skills to not only kill you but keep you alive and make your life a living hell.
Yeah, it's such a good hook, kind of like that guy is like the ideal guy to go after a serial killer or whatever.
And I think that's what makes this movie great, is that it's not the exact same film where just like
Helpless.
but like a revenge film.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Where finally the guy at the end gets his comeuppance. There's actually like lots of comeuppance throughout the way.
Mm-hmm.
The offender, like I would consider him the antagonist, is the main character. He's the one that you follow. You don't follow the guy seeking revenge. You follow the guy that's running away and still murdering it as he goes.
Yeah, which is going into like the importance of, knowing that you can write about the antagonist and have it work. Like, you always want that kind of reinforcement, especially with the stuff that we're writing lately. So this guy supernaturally comes out of nowhere, starts smashing the window, right? We were talking about the snow and the blood scene. We were talking about potentially doing it for something. And you've seen it before. You don't know where. And then, you see it again and it feels like a burned bridge. You're like, oh, gotta get around that now. But anyway, trying to get into the homage, but there's just so many cool little things in this thing. They're going through the search party and they discover the head.
Oh, I know. Put the head in the box.
Do you think it was maybe the most grisliest part of the movie when he's dealing with that guy's wife? Or girl? No, they just got engaged a week before.
And you find out she's a 3-humped camel, too.
What?
A 3-humped camel. What do you call a 3-humped camel? You never saw, what's it called? Zootopia?
I don't know.
What do you call a 3-humped camel? Pregnant.
Oh, yeah, he doesn't hesitate to mention that later on. But it also had that important plot point that happened. Like, even though it was like slow, drawn out, and like.
But they want to pull at the heartstrings. Like, it's just those little devices those little pieces that really draw an audience in, like, to make it that much worse. It's not just this guy's girlfriend. She's pregnant. They just got engaged. Like, these are high stakes.
I know. And to add to the cruelty, like, the shot is so beautifully framed. Like, it's so well lit, all the little practical type stuff. Like, so much care put into this kill room.
This is when you first see the blue and orange, I think. Which we'll be talking about.
Yeah. And really, like, the cinematography, it pulls out from there. Like, she loses her ring. The ring goes missing. Later is able to use this guy's... I definitely got the right guy. But...
homage to the ring?
You're right.
Yeah, down the well.
Yeah. That was kind of down a well.
Yeah, it was in like a sewer grate, I guess.
Yeah.
It would be.
Just as I was thinking more, it pulls out to that hole, and it's almost like a puzzle piece, the shape of it.
Yeah.
Probably reading too much into it.
Yeah, but
if you just think about how deliberate this thing is.
Yeah. I don't think they held back any punches with, like, anything with this film. That's why I liked it so much. With the writing, with the direction, with the cinematography. I wouldn't be surprised if they're, pulling off ambitious things like that.
Yeah.
A little 8.5 shot there. Okay, so where were we? We're at...
where they discover her body.
Yeah.
And so, like, her dad's there.
Oh, yeah. And he wants front row.
Her fiance's there.
Dad's
trying to make his way through the crime scene.
Yeah.
And, like, he can already tell by the scuttle. Maybe the most contaminating a crime scene thing I've ever seen. There's, like, literally, like, 100 people that run directly into the water.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's the worst forensics.
Yeah.
CSI wouldn't like that at all. So they get there, and then they box the head.
They put it in a box.
Yeah.
Don't even have to ask what's in the box.
Yeah. It answers that.
Yeah.
You have to have seen 7.
Yeah. Number 8. This movie. Number 8.
Yeah, does the pratfall where they're going with the box and the guy trips and the head rolls in front of the dad or fiance or whatever. Or maybe the dad sees it first.
But doesn't the head float?
Well,
it
it's
floats
like
up
in
to
the water.
Okay,
They
but
like
his head wouldn't
roll it
float.
over, they push it over, and they're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, that's a head. Push
Yeah.
it over."
Yeah.
That was the first forensic faux pas.
Yeah. I got floating head in my notes, so I was like,
Yeah,
I think it did
was in the
float.
water, but then when
Like,
they're taking it
floated
with
to
the
the
box,
top.
they fall with it and
Yeah,
it
they
rolls
fall.
out.
Yeah, no, it was terrible, and that's another thing. They're not pulling back any punches.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a crazy scene. I wonder if that's how it actually is in Korea when it comes to a crime scene.
Yeah,
But at the same time, you saw kind of the fiance's been here before. Even though it's personal,
mm-hmm.
like he knew exactly what he was getting himself into. He's been at these crime
Yeah.
scenes before.
There's a lot of crying.
Yeah.
The Steven Seagal or Jet Li or whatever protagonist guy,
Yeah.
pretty nifty at parkour and everything too.
Oh, yeah. Parkour is to scissors, what shotgun is to paper.
He does some convincing crying. Like he
Oh, yeah.
looks
Yeah.
like real crying to
Yeah,
me.
exactly.
It
Yeah, and he
was-
had like his arms were kind of stiff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's contorted.
Yeah, you
In
see
a
a lot.
way that when you're just like losing it, you
Yeah,
wouldn't even
getting
think.
rigid.
You're just yeah,
Yeah, I've seen a lot of bad crying in movies. This
exactly.
isn't it.
No, and the music stops. Also, a cool device that I loved when we were talking about Victoria. Not adding music, but taking away music.
Mm-hmm.
Because when he's crying, and it's like the close up on his face, and they take the music away. Now you are in this guy's head. That is the final point of making you feel for this guy.
Yeah.
Which is so funny because they make you feel for this guy, but you only see him at little bits at a time.
Yeah.
You're more following the antagonist that he's after.
Yeah, that's
The murderer.
true. Then he goes to work, whatever he is. He's talking to his bosses. They're like, "Oh, you're gonna want to be gone 2 months or something like that." He's like, "Nah, 2 weeks and I'll be good."
Yeah, exactly.
And at that point, like, you're watching the movie. He's meeting with his buddy who works there or whatever,
Yeah.
and he gets the little beep 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 thing. Yeah, just like make sure you get it back to me or whatever.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so,
he gets the tracker.
hmm
Yeah.
where this must be part of his plan all along. Track this guy.
Yeah.
So then all the while now, what's he do? The other guy go back to killing?
Yeah, because then that's when he finds the girl that's waiting for the bus. Yeah, this is what he does. It's not just a one-off that he killed
Yeah.
this wife or fiance. He's
Yeah.
just out to do the next one.
This is where you really get to see how he starts
Yeah.
flexing. Because at the start of the 2 weeks, he gets the thing from her dad, who's like the retired after 30 years. The irony of this. And he says, for 30 years of the police, and this happens to my daughter. And then he gives him the files, couple of leads
Yeah, because he goes and fucks up a bunch of guys.
to the one guy who's jerking it.
Oh, yeah.
Creeps
I
up
forgot
on
about
him, finds out pretty fast it's not him, and then hammers his privates.
Yeah. Only I Saw the Devil and Itchy the Killer
Mm-hmm.
are the only movies that I know that is like action and there's a guy jerking off in it.
Yeah, you gotta go to Happiness
Yeah.
usually.
There's another guy that he beats up.
Yeah.
And where does he find him?
Oh, there's a guy who he hits on his motorbike.
Yeah,
He crashes into him, rear ends him.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. I think it's just those two. But if we're forgetting one, leave it in the comments. It was around this time that they did that Big Dipper shot,
Oh yeah.
which they actually digitally imposed
Yeah.
the Big Dipper in to have this transition from one scene to the other.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you could see it a mile away, but it worked. You know, it got you into the next scene.
Mm-hmm.
And another sign of how ambitious they were with this film.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. He knows who it is at this point. So then he goes and sees his parents and sees his son.
He looks at some old pictures of him to compare, and his son's just the best little actor, just kicking a ball against the thing.
Yeah.
Oh, are you his son? Kicks it harder.
Yeah.
And then he goes to his place, goes way down, finds the ring there.
In record timing.
Yeah.
He sniffs that thing out.
Yeah, he just catches a glimpse of that little glimmer as he walked over it. Or maybe he's just that good of a detective. Is that cinema sin, Deus Ex Machina, or whatever.
Yeah.
Pretty good coincidence.
Yeah, exactly.
Or Ex Machina.
They wanted to move it along. Why
They
make the guy
They didn't want to
search
spend all day
room?
on the detective part.
Yeah,
They had this whole
got
other...
ground to cover. Get into the scene as late as possible and get out of it as early as possible. So the next homage that I have is the taxi scene.
Is that the first time he gets dropped off?
Probably a quarter of the way in of I Saw the Devil.
Yeah.
We decided to... there was enough bastards to get us a little tipsy.
Got through a 36 pack.
I just said it. So we were sipping souls the whole movie. Every time that someone said bastard, we sipped a soul.
A lot of crazy bastards. A lot of bastard.
Yeah.
It's a noticeable amount of bastards. That's for sure.
You said it. It's probably a translation thing, maybe. Or it's a lack of swear words, like how American has, like,
Yeah, it's like shit.
American English is, like, the most slang anyone uses. So maybe it's just lack of swear words. Just everyone's called a bastard.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have, like, call people a dick and call people a pussy. And I don't know.
Let's run through all the bad words.
Start with A. And maybe we can splice this back. So our taxi driver scene.
It was irony for the other guy. Like, the guy who drives the bus needs a cab.
Yeah. And personally, I would never get into a cab that already has someone in the back seat.
You know, it reminded me actually a lot of when I was young. The road that I lived on. I always wondered where it went. Like, I had no idea. Never made it that far. So, yeah, the irony, of course, of him needing a ride.
Some pretty sketchy guys.
Oh, yeah, sorry. That's what I was saying about going down this road as a kid. Me and my buddy walked, like, as far as we could, an hour or two down this road. Yeah. When we were coming back, we decided to hitchhike. And we got in, and we thought there was a kid in the car. But it was just another creepy dude holding a dog. And we were stuck in the back of this truck the whole way with these, like, gas fumes that ended up giving us headaches and stuff. And they took us, like, way further up the road than we needed to go. It was so trippy. Like, as kids, we were like, oh, no. Like, what do we do? Yeah. It was that same vibe when he got in and he looked around and he just... Oh, there's another scuzz bucket in the damn back of this car. And they're all just like...
Yeah. And then he's talking about how lucky he is.
Oh, such good fortune,
yeah. He said, I don't think you're lucky at all. So did you say you were hitchhiking there? I've never hitchhiked in my life.
No.
When I was a kid. And I think this is probably why. I was only like 6 or 7 or something like that. I was walking down Shore Drive in Bedford.
Yeah.
Like a pretty decent little fucking community.
Yeah. You wanted to ride in a Hummer?
And I have my thumb up, and this lady stops. Like, I was just fucking around, probably just watched it in a movie or something like that. So I put my thumb up, and this lady stops, and she goes, she's pissed, and she's like, are you hitchhiking? Are you trying to hitchhike? And I go, no, I'm just trying to tell you that I really like your car. Like, thumbs up. And she goes, get in. So I get in. She's like, where do you live? And she dropped me off. She's like, giving me the never hitchhike.
Oh,
Never
man.
get picked. Never get into a car with strangers and stuff like that. I'm like, I'm in the car with you right now.
He made me get in.
Yeah. And I don't even know if I ever told my parents that. So, Mom, if you're watching, I'm sorry.
Jeez. Sometimes you
It was
only
so
gotta
funny.
lick one wall
Just-
socket.
I just bitched out hard. But the homage that I saw in this, which is funny because we said that it's kind of Tarantino-like, just with all the homages. Very Sin City, that scene with Clive Owen and Del Toro. Tarantino directed that one scene, and they had the car spinning around. So it was like the camera was going around. And they have this while he's stabbing both the guys.
Yeah.
The cameras are flying around them.
Yeah.
So I think they definitely took that from Sin City. Borrowed it from Sin City.
When somebody gets hit in this movie, it's not one or two times, it's
Lost count.
40.
Yeah.
Well, in the case of the cab, these people get...
I think that was the first time where like the number count gets high. We're lucky that wasn't our drinking game.
Then he crashes the car, but he manages to get it out, and okay.
Yeah. And the journey continues.
But then he's all beat up.
Is this before or after the Achilles tendon scene?
Where he crashes. He
Yes.
goes to the doctor.
So I think his Achilles is already messed up by this point.
No, because when he goes to the doctor, he's not that beat up. Got a broken arm with the cast in it, and he's got like a bump on his head, and he's wearing like that like soccer outfit now.
Yeah.
Which he gets from
Okay,
somewhere.
yeah, because it's the nurse that he's trying to take advantage of.
Yeah.
Because that would be the second time that Revenge Boy comes.
Yeah, and it's also probably the second time where he does that devil move where he seems like he's gone, and then he ends up in a spot
Yeah.
where he shouldn't be.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's so good in that scene. Telling her to strip. Oh, yeah, I was going to have a good time last night
Yeah.
when he got busted the first time.
Bus girl. Why I brought that up.
Oh,
is
and that
'cause-
was right after the doctor, too.
Yeah.
When he had that "don't call me son"
Yeah, and I was
moment.
going to take his glasses.
Yeah.
When you think of Achilles tendons getting cut, you think automatically of Greek mythology.
Hmm.
No, you think of Hostel, where you see there's that brutal scene of Buddy getting his Achilles tendon cut, and then he tries to walk away. And that's the worst part, is when he tries to walk away and it splits open.
Yeah.
But this, he cut into because he's there, and that's where he gets the scalpel from. And he stabs him in the middle of the ankle and saws it outwards.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like that was more brutal, I think, than even Hostel. So they up the ante there.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you can only imagine. And this guy's just screaming. And like,
He did not enjoy it.
yeah. And this guy has some great screams, because even at the start when he's attacking the girl, he has like the banshee, like almost like a war cry or something when he's running at her with the pipe
Yeah.
when she's in her car.
When he's reaching back for the pipe, he's like, "Oh, damn, where did I put it?"
Yeah.
Just with his codfish. What, you never saw one before?
Yeah. What was the number count on that?
I don't know. The other guy, the protagonist, is into that kind of thing too, because when he beats him about the head with something, he does it quite a few times as well.
And that was the only time in the film, because there's a lot of graphic stuff, and graphic stuff can be done good and it can be done bad.
Yeah.
And they did a lot of good in this film. But that was the only part that I really saw the strings on, is when he was getting hit in the back of the head over and over.
Yeah.
And you could just tell it was a dummy.
Yeah.
Or it was like a...
The hair wasn't that convincing and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And just like the movement.
Yeah.
Every time it got hit, it would,
Homage to Jason.
How they know how to push the limit is like... He makes the nurse go down on him.
Mm-hmm.
When it gets broken up by Revenge Boy.
Comes in with the fire extinguisher.
Yeah, which we saw in the trailer. Yeah, it gives him a good smack. That's just a quick one.
A good way of torturing this guy, beating him to an inch of his life, letting him go, gives him a few dollars a couple times.
Yeah.
Actually kind of like grooms him to think he's going to keep getting money until one time he doesn't get nothing. He's like, what the hell?
And at
Where's
this
my
point,
money?
Yeah, and at this point he makes him eat a tracker.
Mm-hmm.
So now he can listen to everything he says wherever he goes.
The one he got when at the beginning of the movie, practically.
Yeah, because I don't know if he had it until then.
And the guy starts getting wise to him after he doesn't understand how he was found.
Yeah.
After one of his beatings, he's there with someone, and he's saying next to the bed, he's like, "Oh yeah, don't worry about him. He's gonna be out for days."
Yeah.
And he's sitting there listening to the conversation. He's like, "Yeah, I gave him the tracker. Only way he's gonna get that out is massive explosive diarrhea."
Yeah.
Well, sweet.
Yeah, go get some fucking chili dogs and let's go.
Yeah. And then he's like doing what you do in a mafia drop or something, switching out cars and stuff. But his way of doing it is goes to the rest stop, gets that cab guy in there, beats the crap out of him,
and then
makes him eat it.
Makes him eat it.
But the guy arrives right after and finds it. Well, he loses track of him there.
Yeah.
But that, he goes off and he leaves the car and does this and stuff.
And then that's where it takes us to our boy here.
This crazy bastard.
And I love the way that he cries when he in his intense moments.
Yeah, so they have this status battle.
Yeah.
Which goes, it gets to go an extra beat. But this guy, just munching down nonstop, ravenous for this human meat. You see where it's all going.
Yeah.
As soon as they're done here, he's like, I gotta go prepare my next meal.
Yeah. And he goes in the locker and, I used up all the guts.
Yeah.
Gonna go to go get some fresh ones, and then he walks a girl out with a bag over her head like a dog on a chain.
You get to see wild. He's got no emotion
and quite the spot.
Mm-hmm.
In this one scene, it could be a little cabin in the woods, but this is actually pretty elaborate. What he has, and what I could only assume is a basement.
Yeah, dungeon.
Yeah.
Cellar.
Yeah,
prison.
A cellar, but multiple rooms in this cellar, it seemed.
Yeah.
And then this is when you get the 50 to the back of the head, because he does find him here as well.
Oh yeah, he really rips through this place.
Yeah.
Epic scene where he goes through here, where he catches this guy.
Yeah.
And then the other guy, he's laying up there in bed, just thinking, his TV goes fuzzy.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's found me again. I know it.
Yeah. And he's already beaten this guy.
Yeah, and so he starts blowing holes all over the place with his shotgun, trying to get
shotgun,
him. And that's when this guy does some of his parkour. Back up to the second floor.
Out the window and up.
Where he finds the girl who's just there. I don't know if there's that much explanation to her. She doesn't even say all that much.
No, she just fetches the water.
Yeah. But then he starts swinging. He cracks her. A couple times,
and then swings again. Misses her when she falls down.
Not that that's funny, but just the final swing, like something that would happen in a real fight.
At this point, they all go to the hospital, and then he comes
all laid up.
He comes and visits them, and this guy's saying how Revenge Boy actually messed up. Because he doesn't know who he's messing with.
Just as he didn't in that little status battle.
So he gives him a smiley, grabbing his jaws and
homage to the Joker,
opening them until his cheeks rip.
Yeah, he is the man that laughs. This guy, red meat or blood, human meat makes him crazy, crazy bastard.
Spoiling a good scene.
Spoiling a good scene, I don't know. Probably where he's on the phone with fiance's dad, and then the sister or whatever is going on like, "Oh, you won't get that satisfaction off of this revenge.
Yeah.
You gotta just stop."
It might have been a joke of spoiling a good scene because he was just about to take the girl and chop her. Just when he was about to get the guts out of her.
Oh, yeah.
Spoiled a good scene. What was fucking awesome is the stab in the hand. Buddy's trying to get the knife out, and then he takes the handle off it.
Just to add to the insult to it. And we were talking about that too, like different scenes, like Blood Simple has one.
Well, I looked it up, and there's actually 370 movies that this could be an homage to. Godfather, Taxi Driver.
Didn't think about that one.
Get Out, Blade Runner, Starship Troopers.
What the?
The Revenant, The Crow, Old Boy.
The drop-off thing with a little bit of money.
Yeah, same actor.
I wonder if he told them, "Hey guys, I already did that."
From Dusk Till Dawn, Evil Dead, the list goes on. But I thought that was really smart. Mm-hmm. You know, these guys, at least when they're doing homages and they're recreating things, they're upping the ante every time.
That's a great way of putting it, upping the ante. Yeah. Because I thought it was so clever, like the way, like it was kind of like Prisoners or something. If he let him go and then caught him again and let him go. Yeah. Like it was a weird little game this guy's playing.
Yeah, cat and mouse.
There is that bit of comeuppance, similar to the movie Death Sentence.
Yeah.
Another revenge-y movie.
Kevin Bacon?
Yeah. That third act bad moment where you go too far at this guy and he finally gets a win.
Yeah, because there was like a serious Punisher streak. Mm-hmm. Everything was kind of based on the Punisher.
Yeah.
Like Max Payne was a good game, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I thought Death Sentence was actually good.
I was alone and I said out loud, well, that switched gears.
Yeah. Do you remember who the little piece of shit antagonist is? Bald gang member?
I didn't know him at the time.
He was in Free Willy, number 2.
What?
He was the punk kid that can't help out. But yeah, that losing the grip on the knife was pretty fucking genius, I must say.
But then the protagonist finds the dad, or not the protagonist, the serial killer finds the fiance's dad.
But was that not still in this house? Another homage. He Home Alones him. Gives him the old Macaulay Culkin.
Oh yeah, throws down some pretty sharp jacks.
Yeah, they're fishing hooks. Knows he's coming up the stairs, so he throws these fishing hooks all over the ground.
Yeah, it seemed like it hurt.
Yeah.
Another convincing emotion.
Even his reaction was just so Marv or Harry. Wipes blood off with warm wipes. I know we were making a joke about like
warm wipes.
Yeah.
And being posh.
Tough guy couldn't use a fucking cold wipey. Stomping framed picture into someone's face. That was a missed opportunity, I must say. I really wanted to see that happen.
That's why I said he's been framed.
Because they did hit him with the frame. But, so then he finds the father.
Does a number on him.
Yeah.
Pretty sure he survives.
Yeah, but then he gets the sister.
She made the mistake of being there.
Yeah. She shows up mid-beating. While her dad's getting beat, she just shows up. Bad timing. That's when Revenge Boy is like, oh shit, this guy might be serious. Well, he is.
Yeah.
He already knows that by now, but this is when, it's
just before that guy got his smile, he's telling him,
because what would this be?
You don't know who you're fucking...
Hero's journey. Yeah, exactly. You don't know who you're fucking with.
He said exactly what he was going to do.
Yeah.
Was give himself up.
Yeah.
So that he couldn't be touched after all of this.
Yeah. Or I guess it's the cat template. What is it called? Saving the Cat?
Yeah.
Where this is like the dark the darkest time.
Yeah,
So it's like the end of Act 2.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it seems like
all is lost.
all is lost, and the antagonist has got the upper hand. Revenge boy gets the last laugh.
Because he goes to the pharmacist where he's like talking out loud.
And he's asking for the Dilaudid or
whatever
Dexies.
pills. Oh yeah, if you got to go there now or whatever.
Yeah.
No. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to throw you off your track there.
There is that scene of both of them going in the store because the antagonist has a guillotine early on in the film.
That's how he beheads.
That's how Revenge Boy gets him back.
Mm-hmm.
Is he has a guillotine hooked up to the door where he knows that his parents and son are going to walk into. And he's screaming.
Yeah, the way he
Don't open
sets
the
up
door.
the trap there.
Yeah.
The guy's got it in his mouth, which is kind of like one of the more brutal parts. You know, such good acting that you feel like this guy's about to have his mouth torn out by it. It's superb revenge.
Yeah.
After all of that.
Yeah.
The protagonist is just walking up the street, you know, he's having that walk off. Such a relief.
Yeah.
Like you as an audience are like, I think this is gonna work out. Revenge not satisfying. This guy's definitely trying to be like, this is otherwise. Oh shit, don't open the door. Don't open the door. Huh? Sorry, what?
Yeah.
What?
What is he saying?
Come on, well, let's get this door
All
open.
we can do is open the door so we can hear what he's saying. And that's another thing is that they hear his voice and they're all excited to see him because they haven't seen him in so long.
Yeah.
They're not excited, but they're, oh my god, like he's home.
What a punchline for the whole thing to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought that was great.
Yeah.
It's a joy to sit through the whole movie, but there's rare that there is such payoff.
Yeah.
And even though they show that guillotine way early on, like that's such a good payoff.
Yeah.
You wanted to get into some of the colors, some of the actual technical side.
It's great what you pointed out as well about the cinematography and the lighting, especially when it came to like there was a lot of blue and orange, which are combative colors. So you see that in a lot of films. I think it's like a homage to Michael Bay or something like that. But what you pointed out is in the final couple scenes where you do see Revenge Boy.
Yeah.
He has the blue light and the red light, and it's shining on him from both sides. And you pointed out that it's like the good and the evil, and it was almost like certain shots you'd see that
he's like hitting him more and stuff, he's in the red. Like justice or like taking his life, you're waiting for the red to overtake him.
Another reason why this movie was so good, like the acting was phenomenal, very believable. Obviously this guy is a success because of like Old Boy was a great film too.
Phenomenal. Squid thing kind of creeped some people out, I think. Or octopus or whatever. You saw that guy's commitment from way back then. I mean, I don't think I would do that, or maybe I would. Maybe I would.
Definitely one that I suggest watching if you don't feel like everything's already been spoiled for you.
With the disclaimer at the beginning, we hope that you watched it and then came back and just felt like you had a buddy to talk to it about for a bit until you get to talk to your own friends about it. Like I've already recommended it to a few people. Yeah,
everyone that I've seen that I know would like this genre of film. I've suggested it too.
There was like, undeniably a little bit of corn in there, here and there.
Yeah, but
It's one of those things kind of like The Wire with all the pieces fit laughable as some of the things feel like all together in an extremely entertaining experience that you could even make a drinking game out of, taking a little sip every time.
yeah, exactly. If you did decide to watch this episode before you watch the film and still want to, make a drinking game out of it.
Yeah.
Every bastard take a drink. But you gotta cheers. And then take a drink. And if you got no one to cheers to, that's 2 drinks.
Actually, another homage that I had thought about was like that whole thing when he was in the house that we talked about, Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yes,
E.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, I could have used an old grandpa.
So yeah, just so that we can burn a couple of these DVDs up on, just as far as showing them, not in a computer.
Out of the picks at hand, these are the most devilish films we could find.
Yeah, on each row here.
Yeah, 1408, which is funny that it's a film. Last time I watched it was on mushrooms. We watched the movie as if it was John Cusack having a mental breakdown in this hotel and like yelling at the screen saying, "No, John Cusack, don't do that." And then, you know, by the time you're bought into watching the movie that way and you see him as just like the actor, it makes it even better when Samuel L. Jackson shows up in the fridge.
Yeah, it was a good movie. I did watch it twice back in the day. I don't know, what year would you say that came out? Say
07?
I was thinking 07, probably a year before, after.
14?
Based on a Stephen King short, I guess.
Yeah.
I didn't read it. Silent Hill, The Room. You ever hear of that one? I think
it's like the 3rd.
Maybe the 4th. I actually have the game on PS2, but I don't know if I've ever like really played through it. Starting out first person in like just a room, and like you kind of world expands, like it kind of goes into the dark and then whatever. But it reminded me a lot of this, opening the door and there's bricks or something ever evolving. That's like 1408, right?
Yeah. Constantine is the only film we have up here that actually has the devil in it. Lucifer, played by Peter Stormare, who
Big
Fargo, Big Lebowski, Armageddon,
log jamming.
Yeah. And this is probably one of Keanu Reeves' better films too.
I don't know if I've ever gotten around to seeing Constantine proper.
No, it's good. I suggest it. Final Destination.
Yeah, that was one
Devil's
of those.
on your back, kind of more of a Grim Reaper than a devil.
Mm-hmm.
But that movie I saw in theaters, and I would have been pretty young. And I remember, being blown away. That was quite the. That was an original film.
The same way that Blair Witch was made found footage popular, or like Paranormal Activity became a thing, or The Purge.
Yeah.
This spawned a huge amount of sequels, probably.
Yeah.
Couple anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, this OG one, what a great hook. There's, so many stories derived by older things. I don't know if there's like a Body Snatchers to this kind of thing.
No,
Invasion.
I don't think so. I think it's like a
totally original IP.
Super original, and I found that this is one of the few that did get like 4 good movies out of it. Like I'm sure they made a lot more, but every movie, or like at least 3. I'll give it 3, but there is always a memorable scene that everyone was scared of something.
Yeah.
Number 2, no one wanted to drive
behind the logs. No.
Number 3, no one wanted to get in that that tanning booth. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
it made every like pedestrian thing a hazard.
Yeah, exactly. Idle Hands, another Devon Sawa shows up in Idle Hands. I think Idle Hands is like
coming of age.
Yeah, I was gonna say the
mixed
best.
with
My favorite Halloween film,
yeah,
and one of my favorite coming of age films.
Yeah.
Like, it's
like
you gotta
Teen Wolf.
and
Road
Seth
trip
Green.
means Teen Wolf.
Yeah, it's Seth Green and sorry if you're watching this, but I can't remember your name. He's in Butterfly Effect.
Is he the guy we saw at Comic Con or not Comic Con, HalCon?
Yeah, yeah, it is. Yeah, man. This was a really fun film. And Jessica Alba. This is like maybe before people were falling in love with her. And then they have Buddy from throwback to Romeo is Bleeding. The guy that what's that song? Always?
Oh, Bon Jovi.
Bon Jovi.
Yeah.
The guy from Idle Hands, the neighbor, who's like loves Van Halen and all these bands, and he's always working on his truck. That's the same actor from in the that music video for Always.
No.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
7 degrees of death sentence.
Yeah, exactly. I'm here to do the devil's work. I am the devil. It's said in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Quoted line from Rex.
Something stupider than that.
But his name was... No, Tex. That's it. Yeah, that's some... apparently that was actually said during the Sharon Tate murders.
Oh, yeah? Was you there?
And then it's also said in... one of the girls said that Tex said this before he killed them. That line was also used in Devil's Rejects. Otis Driftwood says it.
Oh.
Yeah. But he says... I can't remember. One of them says... Maybe it is in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood that he doesn't say the devil's work. He says the devil's business. One of these movies says it a little differently, put their own little spin on it.
Yeah.
Sinister, another more ghouly villain than not so much devilly per se, but trying to bring these kids down to the underworld.
We wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah. For originality, I thought, especially, Insidious and all these movies of people taking their families to houses and it being haunted, like since Amityville.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been done.
That was
so many
based
times.
on true events.
Yeah.
So somebody had to invent this in real life.
Yeah, were you there?
Oh, yeah, maybe Amity's a folk tale.
Yeah. I thought this one was really original. When I saw Sinister...
Another 07.
Yeah, it was it was a great play on that overdone story. I really liked the stock. I guess it was all about the stock footage, but just was eerie. Fuck all the jump scare bullshit that might have happened in it, but it was just eerie watching those films.
Yeah.
On the projector. Families kill themselves or one of the kids always kill the family. Like, that was brutal stuff, man.
What's happening on the cover here? I never took a good look at it before.
Wiping blood. And it's spilling into his face. Because he's got... And that's the worst part of the film, is seeing the guy. You should have never saw the guy.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have gave him a mask to wear. Our last film is not only... it's not really devil per se, but the dark within the light. You could say. Patricia Arquette. I remember seeing this when I was really young too, and
back in 07.
Yeah, I probably wasn't. I don't know if I was.
I don't know.
I definitely wasn't as young as I was when I watched Final Destination. Pretty scary shit, man. I remember being pretty caught off guard when I watched that.
Overall, very impressive list.
Yeah.
That every row managed to have something a little bit devilish in it.
Yeah. That would have been Patricia Arquette, probably coming off a True Romance. A couple of years later, I guess.
Yeah. All these Arquettes get all the acting jobs, don't they?
I Saw the Devil.
Yeah.
It's on Shudder if you can't find it. And who's our special thanks?
Big shout out to Dave for
Love you, Dave. Dave's not here.
but helping us with this week's rental. You know, drop us a line, get entered into that raffle to win Matrix 2.
Yeah, surprisingly, no one even entered the raffle yet. I think we might have to
Maybe
throw
one day.
Matrix 3 in there.
You know, that's going to fill out somebody's filmography.
Yeah. You need more M's in your diet.
Eminem.
R.
We don't need that. We a couple of tireds.
Bastards. Should have said Masterminds.